Thank you very much. Let's restart the meeting. And the next presenter is Mr. Kawanishi. He is a Rubyist, and he used to work for a Kansai electricity company. And with that expertise, he joined Enerchange. And his hobby is programming, and started the local Ruby community in the first year after the graduation from college. In 2015, he served the chair of executive committee of Kansai Ruby meeting, and he is going to talk about Enerchange, supporting technology for electricity services. Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm Kawanishi, Chief Engineer, Enerchange. And then the technology supporting Enerchange, the internet service to compare different electricity services. That is the topic I would like to discuss. This is about me, the Ruby history. That is about 15 years, and then now I serve as the chief engineer at Enerchange. And then what I do at the company is the development and management of a website, Enerchange. And I would like to give you the details of this website later. And as introduced before, as a Ruby local community, that is my life work as well. And you may know already the Kansai local Ruby community that is managed. I'm involved in the management of that. And every 2 months, we have a kind of a study meetings with about 10 people. And every 2 years, we have a Kansai Ruby conference. And then a kind of one of the oldest Ruby local community. And then the 2 days from now, we're going to have a Kansai Ruby study committee. And then Kita, you know this one already. Mr. Takahashi, increment CTO, is going to give us the keynote lecture at that 75th Ruby Kansai Study meeting on 5th November. And the next year, the 27th of May, we are going to have a Kansai Ruby Conference 2017. And then we are going to just use the place Osaka Urban Industry Promotion Center with the expected participation of 200 and the speakers and the sponsors. We need to just invite them to get involved in the 2017 Kansai Ruby Conference. Here is about the explanation of Enerchange. So the energy liberalization. So what is this? The TVs or newspaper articles, you may know this one already, but the year 2000, super high voltage electricity. First, this market is just liberalized, and that was 2000. And in 2004, high voltage electricity market was liberalized. And for general consumers, this April, actually the entire market size is 7.5 trillion. This market has been liberalized for all energy users or electricity users. And then this is the current situation of energy liberalization. Well, the numbers are a little bit old. However, 1.65 million people decided to switch to new electricity suppliers. TEPCO and KEPCO. So anyway, this is the current situation. And then perhaps only a few % of the population or the households just decided to switch from the dominant electricity company to smaller ones. And the Enerchange Co. Limited, that is our company, that is headed in Sumida Ward, Tokyo Metropolitan Police, and our office is quite near the Sky Tree Tower. Shibuya, Shinjuku, a lot of ventures just place their headquarters in these, and our company is one of the rare companies located in this kind of place. And the history is still short. And then Hitachi, actually, we have received the Hitachi presentation, and Hitachi is one of our stockholders. And then you may know this, but Hitachi is just doing some business related to the energy distribution or energy generation. So we can expect some synergistic effect working with them. And then here, this is Enerchange. That is a website to compare the different electricity services. And then now 72 companies, 550 plants. Actually, currently 73 companies just put different plants of theirs on this website. And for 11 electricity suppliers, we work as a kind of an agency. So that means our consumers or users can just apply for the contract on this site. So this is not through the hyperlinks. They can just switch from the old to new electricity suppliers on this site. And the direct application, direct agreement, I think this is quite important as part of a company business. And then the online agreement or contract with the electricity suppliers, I think this is a new idea. For example, a kind of electricity venture companies like listed up here, less known companies use this kind of services. So yes, the consumers can just apply directly on the electricity suppliers homepage or website, but their own webpage and Enerchange website, perhaps through more than one website services, perhaps consumers would be able to identify more easily what kind of electricity services may be optimal to them. So this is a quite user-friendly interface, and even for electricity companies, quite attractive electricity service plans may be able to be just presented in a quite attractive way to consumers or other users. So I think this is quite mutually beneficial to us. And by doing that, I think this is a very good way to stimulate the entire energy market or industry as well. Here, this is some of the advantages or benefit you can have by having Enerchange. And then I would like to just go through different points one by one. But the first one is easy to find optimal electricity services, and also a lot of different electricity rate plans are available. And then the information is updated on a daily basis, and then good quality, and then quite a rich number of articles or news about electricity. And then easy to find. Yes, you know that the climate changes along the way from north to south of Japan, and there are 4 seasons. And for example, the blue color curve, that is the annual electricity consumption in Hokkaido, Sapporo. The energy consumption is higher in winter season, but much less in summer season. But on the other hand, Okinawa, yes, it is quite hot in summer season, but quite comfortable in winter. So the pattern of electricity consumption is quite opposite against Sapporo. And Tokyo is here, the hot in summer and cold in winter. So that means there is a kind of 2 peaks along the year about the energy consumption. So depending on the climate conditions, the patterns or the annual energy consumption show different patterns. On the right-hand side, this is a little bit complicated chart, but this is KEPCO's electricity rate plan, peak shift. To summarize, actually, the unit rate is a little bit lower in night and higher during daytime. So that is the plan of energy services provided by KEPCO. And then peak peak time is weekdays and some hours at the daytime. That is a little bit difficult to understand. Also, yellow color part or orange part. There are 3 steps. So the more and more you use the energy, then unit price is getting higher as well. It might be a little difficult to understand, but this is, or simply saying that you may think the more and more you use power, perhaps the more and more you have to pay. But here, this is a 3-step, stepwise a plan of electricity unit prices, and also when you want to use electricity more, that would affect how much you have to pay. And then in order to make the accurate calculation of the payment, you have to just draw the chart of electricity consumption over the time, 24 hours and 365 days. So that is a quite a complicated process. And then you need to just consider the climate conditions as well. And then in order to make the accurate estimate, actually that is what we do using different modules. And the energy body or energy unit, that is about applications. User just enter some input information and what is the optimal electricity service plan, and that is presented on a website. And so a web application development, that is the skill or technology you need to have. There is several sub-modules, but anyway, that is what we do. And then estimation or calculation of electricity use or consumption. Actually, that is another module. And then the usability is quite important for any change body. However, the accuracy is required or expected for the calculation of electricity charges. And then according to the correct logic, we are expected to make the accurate calculations for different electricity suppliers. And then the prediction of electricity or energy consumption, that is another totally different module. And as I said before, there are many different climate conditions and lifestyles and others. These are things need to be taken into consideration, whether you are at home at the daytime or you out of the home and work. So the different conditions are taken into consideration and create prediction models and make the estimate of energy consumption at a high accuracy for different scenarios. So this is kind of a data science, and then the different team is necessary to set up to this one. And then Python is used for this part of the business. So how to just make these different factors in our business. And in our company, microservice, yes, we are aware of microservices, but our business or architecture is not completely, totally microservice. And then microservice, you know this already, but about microservice architecture, this component and that component, there is a quite clear delineation between different components. And also Ruby and Python, in this case, the multiple technologies can be just used in a mixture. They can be used in an optimal way for each individual technology. And as demerits or disadvantages, there is some overhead for communications, and also the number of servers may be just increased, and that may lead to a higher cost and workload as well. And then what we do in our company, here this part, on the same single server, the Ruby's Unicorn process and Python's Flask process, they coexist on the same single server. And HTTP and the web API that is used actually, so it is possible to use different servers but we decided to place them on one single server to reduce the communication overhead and then workload as well. And also, this one, Enerchange of the Ruby on Rails and the calculation of electricity jerseys, that is a kind of a Ruby's called a library. And so this is also beneficial to reduce the workload as well. But yes, this is but we would like to just separate them to make our business or process of development easier. So the parameters and then returned and output, the strings or hash and the services. Anyway, that is limited to just JSON types. And then the Sinatra, others, if we want to do that, yes, we can just extract some data to the other non-JSON system. But anyway, that is the structure. And that would make our development much easier and more efficient and even in speed as well.
Next. In our company, there are 72 companies where you can get the energy estimation through our website. As you can see, many new utility companies entered into the electricity market. And there are increasing number of new service plans delivered from new companies, and also they have campaigns or the cashback special services. So the market is competitive, and the newcomer can deliver and introduce more attractive service plans. So that's the general trend. And we have to always speedily address to the new plans available in the market. That is very important to improve the usability. So in order to build the site, actually, recap on the history, liberalization of the electricity started on April this year, so we have very busy time last year. And we wasn't able to forecast how fierce the competition would be at this time around the year from the situation 1 year ago, because there's no such information of the service plans to be provided by newcomers, but we expected there would be many service plans, so there should be fierce competition. That's our assumption, and we should be prepared to provide a very flexible services. And the task for engineers needed to be limited. In other words, we have to utilize the non-engineers' power to add new plans in the market, not only for the regular plans, but also the cashback campaign or other types of campaign needed to be well managed by utilizing non-engineer resources. By doing so, we were able to address to the new service plans in a very short time. We are very happy that we decided to utilize non-engineer. That benefited us a lot. Without such plan, engineers has to collect data or change the logic. So in a new liberalized market, we wouldn't have enough engineer to address all the changes. So we are very happy to make this decision. So what we did, in fact, so we do have the special non-engineer resources like the temp staff or the contractor staff. They look for new service plans from 72 companies. Actually, they do not share new service plan information with us. So we have to proactively looking for new plans, and our assistant look for and find new plans and manage those information in a spreadsheet and enter the data into the system. And we use Lobby for the management, and we download the information into the DB. And we continuously improve our system. As this is new environment after the liberalization, there is users changes. The needs of the users has been changing. They started to would like to know about the liberalization of the market. However, there are more and more needs to know about the available plans or what kind of information they have to look to decide the service contractor. So there are increasing number of the needs. So to address different needs, we address different aspects like writing the article or providing information for them to decide. So in order to address such changing needs, we release very frequently. As Human Resources is limited, we are utilizing services available externally so that we can speedily develop. I would like to elaborate one by one, but due to the time restraint, please let me just move on. And another benefit we have is very high quality, abundant article. This is a very new market change because general public do not know about what services are available from who. So such information needed to be provided to the users. In order to realize that, we have many partner writers to write articles related to the liberalization. And from the viewpoint of the writers, they are familiar with WordPress to write articles. FrontPage is built on Ruby on Rails. So we both use Ruby on Rails and WordPress. If WordPress is used as it is, design of WordPress and Ruby are different. And also that causes the problem of the efficiency. So for the CSS, SCSS from Rails is used so that we can have the harmonious design of the site and also improve the efficiency of the development. And here's the summary. Electricity was liberalized in April this year, so the consumer can choose from different companies, and you can apply for the contract or agreement through our website, and they can search for many different plans, and we do continuously improve, and we have very high quality articles available in our website. And one of the unique decisions we made is to use the non-engineers to add services information on the web service, and also we utilize the benefit of the microservice concept. And last but not least, this may be the most important slide in my presentation. We are looking for good talents, engineers or designers, and we host dining out event for engineers and designers regularly, and the next time is on 18th of November. So if you are interested in, please contact me. We are very eager to hire new talents, good talents, so please let me know if you are interested in. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Thank you very much. Now, if you have any question, raise your hand, please. Anybody? Yes, please. Well, thank you very much for your presentation. Smart meters and others, and they had to say something about smart meters, but is there any connection with your business, the use of smart meters and others? Yes, I think that is a very good question. At the present moment, actually, we have no good ideas, but as I said at the beginning of my presentation, the technology development of the smart meters, actually, the Hitachi is involved in the development of smart meters. The Hitachi is one of our stockholders. And then data science and the electricity business, actually, that is our strength. of our company. So I think our company is the best to just do some business for smart meters as well. And there are a lot of electricity suppliers, and then it may be difficult for all these electricity or service suppliers to just collect the data via smart meters and then just think about what is the best way to provide their service, best way to consumers. That may be difficult. So perhaps we may be able to play some role to do that for them. But at the present moment, nothing so far. Thank you very much. Is there any other question?
No more questions. He said the 18th of November is next chance for you to join for the event. And it says the company will pay for you if you join. Please don't miss this opportunity. Please contact him if you'd like to join. Mr. Kawanishi, thank you very much for your presentation once again.